Have you recently discovered that you're a human design generator? You probably saw your body graph chart and had no idea where to start. Well, don't worry. I'm here to help you get clear on what it means to be a generator and how all this human design information can even help you be the best, most authentic version of yourself and live your most abundant and fulfilled lives. And by the end of this video, you'll get the 411 on the generator as we answer your pressing questions like, what does your type mean? How is your type determined? And what are the characteristics of the generator aura? Also, what's the difference between the generator and the manifesting generator aura type? And what are the generator strategies as well as not self and signature themes? So if you enjoy this video and want to continue to learn and deepen your understanding of human design, I'd be so grateful if you could show me some love. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And with that said, hi, my name is Crystal Alfarero, and I'm your fun-loving human design guide and host of the Magnetic Self podcast. So first of all, as a projector, I envy the limitless energy and endurance of generators to just keep going. You are like the Energizer bunnies of the human design types, and historically generators are and have been known as the great builders of civilization because of their energy and endurance, and they were considered extremely valuable. And because of their inability to initiate and manifest without resistance, they pretty much surrendered to the manifestors, who at the time were the rulers and controlled them to build their empires. However, now we're at a time where they're free to do whatever they want and lean into their role and really tap into that fountain of energy and explore what they're capable of without being oppressed and forced into doing things that they simply don't want to do. Now, what does your type mean? Well, according to human design, humanity is distinguished between 4 different types, and each of those types have different roles that we were meant to carry out. So you have your generators, your manifestors, your projectors, and your reflectors. And actually, manifesting generators, if you've heard about this type, are actually not a 5th type, but rather a variation of the generator type. And they're designed to follow the generator strategy. However, because of their subtle differences, and these are very important differences to note, they're going to be treated as a 5th type. But anyways, type concerns the body, the genetics, and specifically the aura. So each type has a different way of operating energetically and is based on our understanding of subtle energy and how we communicate on an unconscious level through the aura. And how is your type determined? Well, each person is essentially imprinted into this world with genetic traits, specific genetic traits that we were born into in order to share with others and live our higher purpose. And this unique trait is defined in your chart through your gates and your channels. So whenever you see those lines, it's the things that are colored in, and that's really what's consistent in you that you express through your aura. And specifically, there are 2 things that stand out in the generator charts. So first of all, they have a defined sacral center. So this square that you see in the middle, your sacral center is colored in your body graph chart, unlike the other types. And what makes manifesting generators stand out compared to their pure generator counterparts is that they have a motor connection with the throat. And when we talk about motors, it's basically any of these 4 centers that are circled in. So your heart center, your sacral center, your solar plexus, or your root. And this is the characteristic that they share with their manifestor counterpart. So what are the characteristics of the generator aura type? Well, generators were born to do the work they love to do, and they're supposed to use up all their sacral energy by the end of each day. And another amazing thing is that the sacral motor, so essentially that thing that keeps them going, doesn't stop until they finish what they're set out to accomplish. And this is what gives you as a generator the most satisfaction. They find life through their work, and they do this by responding to the things that come to them daily. And the key for generators is really to find the work that they love, because this is what will transform their life. And what sets generators apart is their open and enveloping aura that really transmit that life force energy of their sacral center and establishes this energy field around them. In order to access this energy, someone needs to ask for it in order for the generator to respond so that their sacral can fully embrace it and, provide that energy that's needed to carry out any task or project. So what's the difference between a generator and a manifesting generator aura type? Well, as a pure generator, the gift of pure generators is the ability to really perfect or master a project, skill, or task. And once pure generators respond to an activity that they're engaged in, they have this methodical step-by-step process that thoroughly covers each stage. But because they don't have a similar connection to the manifester, they end up hitting these plateaus along the way. And whenever they get stuck at these plateaus, they need to be reinitiated by a question or an insight that they can respond to in order to access that sacral energy. And it's also very, very important for a generator to do what they love so that they don't end up quitting in the process. And with manifesting generators, they have a more spontaneous and playful energy. And because of that, they have this gift of efficiency. And because manifesting generators do have this trait similar to manifestors, they're able to quickly move from response to manifestation. And what I mean by this is that they have the ability to see which steps are essential and which ones can be skipped in order to complete a task. But because they move so quickly sometimes, and because they're so impatient, they often end up missing steps that cause them to have to go back and complete. And yeah, again, they are more prone to impatience than pure generators, so they can avoid this frustration really just by slowing down and paying more attention to the responses in the process. So next up, what is the generator strategy? Well, first of all, your strategy is determined by your type, and it's a tool that allows you to work with your energy rather than against it, so that you're met with less resistance through your life. And the generator strategy and decision-making process is to respond. And it's not about looking for the things that light you up. It's about trusting that the universe is constantly giving you signs and synchronicities for you to respond to. And you just need to respond to the things that do actually light you up. And when something excites you, that's when you should actually respond to it and say, hell yes. And as I mentioned earlier, your huge amount of sacral energy can only be accessed as a response to something. So by following your strategy, you're not facing the same resistance and energy blocks when you're trying to accomplish something. You're using your energy effectively by activating the sacral. And as a generator, your strategy is really implemented for both big and small things. It's really about recognizing your wants and your desires from the things that you think you should be doing, the things that society or anyone else external to you tells you that you should do. And another thing I want to debunk is the fact that waiting to respond doesn't mean doing nothing. As a generator, you already live your days in response to things that are happening around you. And if you're doing work that you love and you desire, that's a response to your desires. If you join a conversation when you're asked, that's responding as well. And response could also be response to a sign or synchronicity. You can ask the universe to give you something to respond to. That's why intention setting is so important. And you really were designed to wait and let your life come to you. Your path and contribution to humanity is really to awaken your sacral and surrender to your truth. And again, there are no concrete rules. Your strategy is never meant to limit you in the way that you live your life, but rather enhance it and offer you a way to get your energy to work with you, as well as leverage the energy of others. Another thing to understand is that our auras have a provocative nature. Generators provoke others to ask them things so that they can respond to them. So for the generators watching this video, what generator characteristic resonates with you the most? So what is the not self and signature theme? Well, each type has what's called the not self and signature themes, and you can think of these kind of as signposts or signals as to whether or not you're living in alignment with your true self. Your not self is your conditioned self, and your not self theme is what you'll experience when you make your decisions through your conditioning and mental reasoning as opposed to your strategy and authority. And that's where you'll face a lot of resistance. So for generators, the not self theme is frustration. And this can often happen when generators and manifesting generators try to live like manifestors. They end up frustrated and unfulfilled because they've been conditioned to believe that if they want something to happen, they need to go out there and make it happen. They need to initiate. But they don't have the same initiating ability as their manifestor counterparts. When they constantly initiate, that's when they'll get stuck and struggle to move forward. And the thing is, manifesting generators and generators need to learn to be patient and understand that what's meant for them is attracted to them and will come to them. by following your passions and the things that you enjoy, these things and these requests and these opportunities are magnetic to you. They just start coming in, and you need to trust that. And when you do that and you implement your strategy and authority, you'll experience your signature theme in your life. So for generators, this signature theme is satisfaction. And satisfaction is what generators seek the most in their life. It's like their minds will never figure out what brings them deep satisfaction, and yet responding to what comes to them is what brings it to them with ease. And there's nothing more rewarding to generators than to feel a sense of satisfaction in their work and their relationships. And just as a disclaimer, there is no good or bad type. There is no type that necessarily has more probability of wealth, success, and happiness. It just means that the way we were designed to obtain our desires, move through life, and manifest different things in our life are different, and therefore our approaches to life and how we implement things should also be different and unique to us. And this brings me to the end of this episode, where we answered the following questions. What does your type mean? How is your type determined? What is the generator aura? What are the differences between the generator and the manifesting generator? And what are the generator strategies, not self, and signature themes? I also wanted to add a disclaimer to this, that you should just take everything I teach you with a grain of salt. You don't need to believe anything I say, and you don't need to take what I say as concrete rules, because ultimately human design is an experiment. So now is your turn to experiment and, test out your strategy and find out what it is that works for you. Doing this will allow you to take control of your life and how it unfolds, rather than remaining a byproduct of it. And with that said, if you enjoyed this video, I'd be so grateful if you could show me some love, hit that like button, and subscribe to continue to learn more about the wonderful human design system. Have an amazing day or evening wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.